Hi, I'm Nadia Combs, Chair of the Hillsborough County School Board. I want to welcome you to Hillsborough County Public Schools. We serve more than 200,000 students. That includes children in preschool through adults in our workforce program.
I'm Henry Shake Washington, the Board Vice Chair. Our district is the 7th largest in America, and our team is made up of more than 24,000 people working at nearly 250 sites across the county.
Our district is diverse and dedicated. Our board meetings are held in our board auditorium on select Tuesdays at 4 p.m. The best way to serve our students and our community is to involve you, the public, in what we do.
You are welcome to email or meet with any of our board members and follow our district on social media. Board meetings are covered live by Hillsborough Schools TV on Spectrum Cable Channel 635 and Frontier Cable Channel 32.
Meetings are also streamed live on our website at hillsboroughschools.org. Closed captioning is provided on all broadcasts, and past meetings are available in our online archive.
We are interested in what the public has to say. We'll include time for audience comments before we address our business items. Our agenda and any supporting materials can be viewed online in advance. They are posted 7 days before each meeting on our website at hillsboroughschools.org.
Our vision is preparing students for life, and that means all students, every day. Todos los estudiantes, todos los días. Thank you for your interest in education. With your help, we're making decisions that shape our community's future.
The board meeting of September 7, 2023 is called to order. Member Washington will now lead us in a moment of silence, followed by our dual language students from West Chase Elementary who will recite the Pledge of Allegiance in Spanish and English in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. Now please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. A la bandera de los Estados Unidos de América, la república que representa una nación ante Dios indivisible, con libertad y justicia para todos.
Very good.
Yay, awesome.
Elijah Minutillo, Cassie Kish, Ava Minutillo, Alexandra Allen.
You guys are good. Woo! Woo! All right.
So cute.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
You know, we may have to have them back again. They did a great job.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Great
Thank you.
job.
Thank you.
So cute. Member Washington, will you please acknowledge our student entertainment?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to thank Reddick Elementary School, Dual Language Poetry, and Gaither High School Hispanic Cultural Presentation, along with Principal Jennifer Dames, Dr. Jennifer Dames, Principal Thomas Marr. These wonderful students entertained us prior to the board meeting. At this point, would you all please come up? I would like to invite the students up to introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Ana Fernandez, and I am in 11th grade. Hello, I'm Jen Serio, and I'm in 12th grade.
Hello, my name is Santiago Giorgi. I am 12th grade.
Hi, my name is Zoe Velasquez, and I'm in 10th grade.
You can't look so young.
Hello, my name is Juliana Contreras and I'm in 11th grade.
Hello, my name is Abraham Bacino and I am in 11th grade.
Hello, my name is Franklin Perez. I'm in 11th grade.
Hi, my name is Edna Martinez and I'm from Gator High School, Spanish teacher.
Hi, my name is Adrian Benitez and I'm in 4th grade. Hello, my name is Marilyn Perez and I'm in 4th grade. Hello, my name is Annalise Rosado. I'm in 4th grade. Hello, my name is Miranda Gallardo and I'm in 4th grade. Hi, my name is Valeria Pinedo and I'm in 4th grade. Hi, my name is Jason Pavich and I'm in 4th grade. Hi, I'm Elias Benitez, 3rd grade.
Good afternoon. My name is Karian Rivera. I'm a teacher, dual language teacher in 1st grade in Reddick Elementary. There is my student. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lorima Guadalupe. I'm the interventionist at Reddick Elementary.
And I am Jennifer Dames, the proud principal of Reddick Elementary School.
All right. Thank you. Now, yes, and if we have any parents, please come up and take pictures also. All right, thank you all. Great job. Thank you so much. We have some great students in Hillsborough County. See ya. See ya.
I know everyone really, really enjoyed it. Wonderful job. We have no withdrawn items today. I need a motion and a second to adopt the agenda. I have a motion by Member Gray. I have a second by Member Washington. Any discussion? Please vote when your lights appear. Oh. And it passes unanimously with Member Vaughn and Member Hahn not on the dais. Let the record reflect that all members are present today with the exception of Dr. Hahn. We have 1 set minutes to be approved today, August 22nd, 2023, school board meeting. I need a motion and a second to approve the minutes. I have a motion by Member Gray. I have a second by Member Perez. Any discussion? If not, please vote when your lights appear. And it passes unanimously. Board members, I'd like to go over the format of today's meeting. As a reminder, we're a nonpartisan board who believe that all children can be empowered to learn to succeed, and our decisions will be made with that understanding. To pave the way for efficient and effective agenda statements and or questions, board members will have 5 minutes to speak with 30 seconds for final thoughts. Afterward, the superintendent can respond. If you have further questions, you're asked to get back into the queue. Member Washington will now read the board guidelines.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As we begin this afternoon meeting, let me quickly review the format of the school board meetings. Please silence all electronic devices. There are speakers in the room behind me that allow board members to hear the meeting upon stepping away from the dais. This meeting can be viewed with closed caption on live webcasts, on cable TV, and on video monitors here in the auditorium. It also can be viewed with closed caption in the online video archive.
Thank you, Member Washington. We have 2 items scheduled for time certain, and that's 5:01 public hearing, as well as 6 o'clock employee input. We will now move to public comment. The board welcomes comments from citizens and values your input to the board. In order to provide the most comprehensive response to your comments, our staff will follow up with you and will keep our board informed about the responses. Our school board respects the public's right to speak to the board, and we appreciate you taking the time to be here. However, it is requested when you address the board comments are not directed personally against a board member or staff member, but rather directed at the issues. Any behavior intended to interrupt the orderly conduct of the meeting will not be allowed. Our civility policy is in place. When addressing the board, please state your name and speak clearly into the microphone. This afternoon, each speaker will have 3 minutes. Reminder that your 3 minutes start when you begin speaking. When there are 30 seconds left, you will see a yellow light on the lectern. A red light and a chime will indicate when your time is up. If the first or all the speakers can please line up against the wall. If we could have the first speaker. We only have a handful tonight.
Mark Clutho, Largo. How about this headline? Vouchers pay for TV's Disney. Yeah, from the Republicans and Governor Ron DeFeur. Welfare for the rich. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, and here's the headline. Soon our oceans could feel like jacuzzis. This is written by the woman that swam 10 years ago from Cuba to Florida. She says she couldn't do that today. And here, this headline from the New York Times, teaching climate change when the curriculum avoids it. Yeah, well, you ignore the science that makes for the smart, high-performance, passive solar buildings, that demonstrates the science that she should be teaching. How about that? And then here, look at this one. Technology could squeeze more out of the power grid. What a beautiful picture. Yeah. Well, this moron here, Robert Zullo, misses the point entirely. Decentralization. If you were making those high-performance passive solar buildings, then you don't rely so heavily on the grid. Oh, man, I'll tell you, it's a doggone shame. Yeah, that last meeting with the budget, 501 is 501. That's certain, time certain. And, you know, I'll tell you, you need to watch the Pinellas County Schools budget hearing to learn how to do it. You weren't doing it right until I insisted that you're supposed to have 2 hearings, one for the millage, one for the budget. That's how the law states. I'm speaking for the attorney here. You weren't doing it right. You say you know so much about the law.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
Don't.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hello, my name is Ant Avila, and I am a community organizer with Equality Florida. And in that role, we hear from teachers and parents that are deeply concerned that the school district has not released LGBT guidelines for your educators to provide safe and supportive learning environments for all students. We hear from parents who are desperately seeking a method to ensure their children's gender pronouns are affirmed by teachers and staff. And large districts like Broward and Palm Beach have already made these releases available to teachers and parents. And we are asking this district to follow suit as one of the largest districts in the state so that teachers can teach and provide supportive environments to every child and that every family can be respected. Thank you.
Thank you. And our final speaker for today?
Good afternoon. Well, my name is Julie Gephardt, and I'm just going to revisit the sex ed curriculum for 7th graders. And this curriculum, 5 of the board members here voted for this curriculum after a challenge with almost 2,700 petitioners objecting to the content, after my warnings at multiple board meetings, and after a public hearing where many constituents also shared many concerns about that curriculum. So once again, 5 of the board members here voted for that curriculum. My primary concern, aside from facilitating co-ed conversations about sex with 7th graders, is the problem of teaching consent to 11 and 12-year-olds. First problem is that it removes parents from the discussion that is happening in school. Children are called dependents for a reason. These are life-altering decisions that they're considering making, and parents should be a part of that. Another reason is that it teaches them a set of moral standards. Again, I'm talking about the problem of teaching consent to 11 and 12-year-olds. It teaches them a set of moral standards, including that there are essentially 2 things needed before sex: consent and condoms. That's it. That is this flies in the face of what many parents are teaching their children, that there's more moral guidelines than just consent and condoms. Another reason is that consent is an adult issue, not an 11 and 12-year-old issue. Anyone who suggests that teaching consent to an average classroom of 11 and 12-year-olds has failed their responsibility as an adult or is morally deficient. There are scenarios when 11-year-olds need to be taught about appropriate moral boundaries, but this is a very different discussion. This is not a consent discussion. The language of consent opens up a slippery slope that leads to pedophilia. In fact, the amaze.org video that was shown to every 7th grader in this county flung wide the door open to pedophilia. The video is called Understanding Sexual Consent in the Law. I've talked to you about it many times before. It shows a child consenting to sex with an adult. Then it warns the child about mandated reporters who would be forced to report their situation to authorities should the child decide to talk to those certain mandated reporters about it. This is a huge problem. There is no condemnation of that child consenting to sex with an adult. There's no condemnation of the adult having sex with a child. The video shows this clearly. Again, after warning about this video in particular, and please do look it up, amaze.org, Understanding Sexual Consent and the Law, 5 of the board members here voted to keep this curriculum. Thank you.
Thank you. And that concludes our public comment. We will now move to the recognition and proclamations. AO1, Adoption Proclamation, National Hispanic Heritage Month, September 15, 2023 through October 15, 2023. Member Perez will be highlighting this proclamation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Hay más de 80,000 estudiantes en las escuelas públicas del condado de Hillsborough. Se identifican como hispanos. Estos cerca de 40% de nuestra población. El mes de herencia hispana se extiende del 15 de septiembre al 15 de octubre y honra las muchas contribuciones que los hispanos americanos han hecho y continúan haciendo en nuestra sociedad. Nuestras escuelas siempre van más allá para reconocer este mes. Las celebraciones y lecciones creadas por los educadores increíbles realmente muestran la importancia de celebrar la herencia hispana. There are more than 80,000 students in the Hillsborough County Public Schools who identify as Hispanics, and that's close to 40% of our population. Hispanic Heritage Month runs from September 15th to October 15th and honors the many contributions Hispanic Americans have made and continue to make to our society. Our school always goes above and beyond to recognize this month. The displays, celebrations, and lessons created by our amazing educators really go to show the importance of celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month.
Thank you, Member Perez. I need a motion and a second to approve the National Hispanic Heritage Month, September 15, 2023 through October 15, 2023. I have a motion by Member Gray. I have a second by Member Washington. Any discussion?
Yes.
Member Gray? Oh, no. Member Vaughn? Okay.
Pass the mic to me. Thank you, Member Perez, for reading that. I just want to say this is one of my favorite times of the years to see how many of our schools really lean into celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, especially since our Hispanic students are the biggest population of students that we have here in Hillsborough County, and to be a part of it, to go out and be able to read and multilingual books to all the students. It's always one of the most fun and just really beautiful parts of the celebrations that we have in our schools. So I just want to say, happy beginning Hispanic Heritage Month. I look forward to all the celebrations. Thank you to everybody in our dual language department and everyone in our schools who really, make this special, especially for our students. And I'm just excited. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Vaughn. Member Gray?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Big time appreciation to Jessica de la Prida, Drusi Diaz, the head of the Hispanic Forum, Melissa Delgado. There are so many others that deserve the credit to really give impact, a compelling impact of what Hispanic Heritage Month includes and means. Truly, as mentioned, Member Vaughn, our Hispanic population will reach, within 5 years, perhaps 50% of our students. So the idea that we're just approaching, and I still say approaching, we haven't gotten there yet, we're doing a lot, but the approaching communication and respect and regard, curriculum matching to the demographics is very heartening, and it's very important. Thank you, Member Perez, for reading this proclamation. And all the while, we are so proud of our dual language program, world languages, and we're so proud of our teachers, our principals, Dr. Dames of Reddick Elementary, Gaither High School today. And I know I'm forgetting one more. Thank you, Tracy Lacey, for really giving us a heartwarming positioning of wonderful students showing Hispanic heritage. And we look forward to this month. This is a great time of year, a very colorful time in many ways, literally and in every way possible. Thank you. And that's all my remarks for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Gray. Member Perez?
Yes, I look forward to this, especially if we had a lot of new students that have come into this district, Latino students that have now, joined our family here in Hillsborough County, to see what they're going to participate in, how they're going to see the celebration, and how we're going to kind of involve them in our celebration here. And I look forward to going to read with our superintendent, and every year myself and the superintendent go and read together, and I'm looking forward to this year as well.
Thank you, Member Perez. Member Washington?
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, thank you, Mrs. Perez, for reading the proclamation. I look forward to this year every time because I get a chance to read and have a great time with the kids, and we're just happy. And every time this month comes around, it's a great month, and we're going to continue to do what it takes. And I want to thank y'all so much for all that you do, Mr. Delgado, you and your committee. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Thank you, Member Washington. And I also wanted to echo, just looking out here, and I see Marcos Murillo, Melissa Mercado, Drew, Christina Fernandez, Jessica De La Prida. We have so many amazing leaders, and I know I've left off so many people, so many amazing leaders in this district who are really pushing for that 40% of our students, and they are driving. If you see our AP results, our IB results, how hard our Spanish teachers are working, we are doing so much. And when you see how well those students, and we have a lot of dual language programs in District 1, when you see the results of those students and those kids, and remember, some of these children are coming here at have been through very, very challenging times to come here, and to be able to walk into a class and be able to communicate with people is so important, and we are seeing those results. So I want to thank everyone for that. And I also wanted to mention we're going to have our second annual Hispanic Heritage Celebration in District 1, which will be on October 12th, 6 to 7:30 at Lato High School. Last year we had hundreds of people. I really think it's going to be thousands this year. It's going to be amazing. Many schools will be performing. Many of our schools will have booths. So I'm really looking forward to celebrating such an important part of our community. Thank you. Next is, yes. I got so excited, I forgot. Okay, I need a motion and a second to, okay. Please vote when your lights appear. And it passes unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Porter. AO2, adoption of proclamation. Start with Hello Call to Action Week, September 18, 2023 through September 22, 2023. Member Vaughn will be highlighting this proclamation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I actually love Start with Hello Week. Start with Hello Week raises awareness about social isolation and educates students on how to create an inclusive school culture. Through Start with Hello training, student-led activities, public proclamations, media events, and student contests and school communications. Start with Hello teaches students grades K through 12 the skills they need to reach out to those who may be dealing with chronic social isolation and create a culture of inclusion. In addition to young people, Start with Hello will benefit educators, administrators, and the community. Last year, more than 90 of our schools participated in Start with Hello Week activities that helped improve the overall school culture and decrease social isolation. In addition, 72 of our schools have Students Against Violence Everywhere Promise clubs, which encourage students to recognize mental health concerns and promote a safe and welcoming school environment. And again, I just really love this. My son's school participates in this, and he comes home all throughout the week with different say hello. And he always comes in and says, hello, mommy, every day he comes home. So it's really resonating, at least in elementary school. So it's always a fun week in our household. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Vaughn. I need a motion, a second, to approve the Start with the Hello Action Week, September 18, 2023 through September 22nd, 2023. I have a motion by Member Perez. I have a second by Member Washington. Any discussion? Member Gray?
Hello. I just wanted to start that right off. Such a positive way. Superintendent Ayers, this is right in your main mission statement is changing the culture to a positive culture. But I want to thank the mental health team, Holly Saya, Elizabeth Tanner, and putting this all together and making sure that it's really a strategic way of having kids in a positive framework of mind. And Holly Saya, if you're listening, let's make sure we put this on our Hillsborough Healthy Schools survey as well, that we are having many of the schools participate. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Member Gray. Members, please vote when your lights appear. And it passes unanimously. AO3, the adoption of proclamation, National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, September 2023. Member Rendon will be highlighting this proclamation.
Thank you. Suicide is the second leading cause of death amongst people 10 to 14, and the third leading cause of death among people ages 15 to 24. The school board would like to honor our amazing social services team who work to implement suicide prevention strategies and build relationship with community partners to assist in these strategies to protect our students. The importance of this month shines a national spotlight on caring for every child's mental health and to reinforce the message that positive mental health is essential to a child's healthy development.
Thank you, Member Rendon. I need a motion and a second to approve National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, September 2023. I have a motion by Member Perez. I have a second by Member Gray. Any discussion? Member Perez?
So, here in Hillsborough County, unfortunately, between 2020 and 2023, we had one elementary school student commit suicide. We had 2 high school students commit suicide. And in 2023 school year, we've had 5. You know, death rates among our youth and young adults between the age of 10 and 24 are staggering. You know, within the last 60 years, these rates have quadrupled. The numbers are just incredible. You know, thank you to our staff, our, social workers, counselors, and psychologists. We understand that our children are not okay, and we need to really continue focusing on their mental wellness and the funding of these services as we continue to fight for their mental health, because not doing something is not the answer. But I appreciate you bringing up this proclamation, especially in the month of acknowledging suicide issues. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Perez. Member Vaughn?
Thank you. I'm glad that as a board we discuss things as serious as suicide, especially when we share the alarming number of our young people who are at risk at that. When we talk about keeping our students safe and epidemics in our school, I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the fact that our LGBTQ plus population and students are 4 times more likely than the already staggering, alarming amount of our students who are at risk for suicide. And that 1.8 million LGBTQ youths between the ages of 13 to 24 seriously consider suicide every 45 seconds. And as we talk about mental health, which is so important, I think we absolutely have to talk about the messages that we're sending when we talk about Start with Hello Week and inclusion, and making sure, what I repeat almost ad nauseum, that our classes and our schools are inclusive and safe and welcoming to all of our students. I think this is a perfect opportunity to talk about that. So I appreciate the time, and I'm glad that we have this proclamation. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Vaughn. Board members, please vote when your lights appear. And it passes unanimously. A04, the recognition of staff and community efforts through Hurricane Idalia. I'll be highlighting this recognition. On Monday, August 28, 2023, the decision was made to close our schools in preparation for the tropical storm Idalia. The Hillsborough County Emergency Operations Center began shelter preparations at 11 of our schools: Barrington, Irwin, Lockhart, Middleton, Newsom, Pizzo, Reddick, Smith, Steinbrenner, Shields, and Sumner. Hillsborough County Public Schools and district-based staff members came together with our community partners for the next 2 days to support 1,320 residents who came to shelters for protection from Hurricane Idalia. School board members and Superintendent Ayers wish to acknowledge the selfless service of all Hillsborough County Public School staff members who assisted in transporting, staffing, feeding, and cleanup at our school site shelters. Thank you for demonstrating to our entire community why we're Hillsborough strong. Thank you. I need a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. I have a motion by Member Vaughn. I have a second by Member Gray. Oh, it's a recognition. It's a so there's no vote. So now we're going to the consent agenda. Okay, we do have a video that, I didn't know that. We had a video that we're going to share regarding the storm and the shelters.
Thank you,
that
Chair
we used.
Combs.
Okay,
and-
thank you.
You have a motion and a second on the floor for the consent agenda. Do you want to take care of that and then do the video?
Well, we can just, what we'll do, is that the best way?
I think it's better to just
Okay, let's go ahead and
just vote.
Okay. Board members, please vote when your lights appear. You're voting for the consent agenda right now. And it's approved unanimously. And now what we'll do is we're going to share a video. Thank you very much, and thank you to that video. And excuse me, Superintendent Ayers.
Thank you, Chair Combs. I just wanted to take this opportunity. This morning, met with all of our principals and had the opportunity to speak with them and thank all of them, and just really want to take this opportunity. When you have an event like that and to see our school district really come together and support our community, it was truly special. And I just want to take this opportunity, and our team put together that video just to kind of show all that it takes in those few days to kind of work with our community partners. So if any other board members have any comments about the recognition.
Okay, I think we all do. Okay, we'll start with Member Perez.
Thank you. As you know, I wear two hats in this community with the VA, and my population is the geriatrics. So, we had to move some of those geriatric patients, to the shelters. And with the information you were providing, I was able to provide, the chiefs at the VA with some of the shelter information much more quickly. And we were able to get them transported over there to the shelters. So I want to thank you for that. It was just a smooth, intertwined between, one hat and the other. And I just want to thank the staff for that smooth, I saw it from a different lens. Working with you with what I do here. But thank you. Thank you for doing what you do for our students, for our community on a daily basis, especially when a storm does come our way. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Press. Member Vaughn?
Thank you so much. And thank you for Superintendent Ayers. I had suggested this recognition right after the storm, and I appreciate you getting this on the agenda and an opportunity to speak to it. I don't think people really understand how much work our employees do every single time we open shelters and what that looks like. And, not only are they doing an extreme amount of work and making sure our schools are open and safe havens, they're leaving their families, they're leaving their own homes, they're not able to, take care of what they need to as the storm approaches, and what a huge sacrifice that is. And just how amazing it is to watch people at what feels like a moment's notice, because some of these storms pop up so quickly, just really hustle and rally and make sure that our community is safe. And it really moves me, and I'm really appreciative. Even teachers where our shelters aren't open, they have the kids put up their desk and they get their schools ready, and just, really watching our community. There's a lot of times where we have so many things that divide us, come together when it really counts and show that we are all Hillsborough and Tampa. It's really it's amazing to watch. So just thank you to everyone who rallies and makes our school safe for everyone during the storm. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Vaughn. Member Rendon?
Yeah, we had several of our schools, especially our middle schools, that literally within 10 minutes of dismissal are setting up for shelter. I think you're right, Member Vaughn, that I don't think the community recognizes the sacrifices that our district staff have made in any time we open a shelter. At the end of the day, they not only serve, but they were willing to serve. They were willing to do what's necessary. Even if their school was not a shelter, they relieved someone else whose school was a shelter. We had multiple admins from multiple schools relieving each other timely, sacrificiously, and without any notice at all, just taking full event and doing that. I also want to thank the district staff for providing support to all of those district staff that were working those shelters. They knew they were not alone. They were constantly seen by you. They were constantly heard from by you. And so for that, I thank you very much. I also want to recognize the fact that we put our students first in Hillsborough County. We made sure that as soon as we could get our students back in school, we did. We prioritized when the needs of our students were first, whether it was if we needed a breakdown for a shelter or we needed to work overnight to get schools ready for the next day. And so for that, I want to thank the superintendent, his cabinet, all of the staff, and especially all of the staff of Hillsborough County. You came out, you served well, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Member Rendon. Member Gray?
Just hearing our board members express appreciation, it's just so amazing how much recognition and so well deserved our employees should get. And Member Vaughn, thank you for bringing this forth. Recognition, probably the most important thing for a person is to hear their name and to thank them with their name of their efforts. And I know there were many moving parts. Chris Farkas, thank you for the operations end. Shani Hall for the nutrition end. Laura Hill for the transportation end. Mayor Castor worked with you, Superintendent Ayers, as did the BOCC and the Tampa City Council. So it was like an orchestra. And we can't thank our principals enough. They are always willing to go above what is asked of them. And the staff is right there by their side. And I'm looking at right now one of our wonderful principals at April Gilliard. I know her work. She's just always amazing. But that's just one out of the many, many principals. And our supervisors that are sitting there in front, each of you also were part of this operation. So Superintendent Ayers, you have a lot to be proud of, thankful for, and here our board members are echoing many of the same sentiments. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Gray. Member Washington?
Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, thank you, Superintendent Ayers, for opening up so quick. When something like this happens in the county, we got to be on top of it, and I thank you for being on top of it. As we all know, many principals that have opened up shelters before know it's a difficult job, very difficult job opening a shelter, because you got to be ready to go. And one of the most difficult part about opening a shelter up is once you open up and the Red Cross or someone comes in there, it's not your building anymore. They completely take over your building. So principals, we used to be in the back row on that one because it's very difficult. But I want to thank the people for coming out, the dietitians and everybody, the custodians for all coming out, because it's a hard job because you're dealing with people you don't know. They're coming out from all parts of the county because you don't know them, so you don't have that relationship like you should, and you have to be up, you have to walk those hallways, you have to check your people, so it's a lot. And also security. School security plays a big role in it because they keep it clean and cleared, so we don't have just people coming in there, outlaws coming in there and doing whatever they want to do. So I want to thank all the principals, all the staff, the employees for doing a great job on this go round. Thank you, Madam Chair, for that.
Thank you, Member Washington. And I also wanted to thank Superintendent Ayers for your leadership. Thank you for keeping us, updated as a board and with the community. I think you did an excellent job, and that was great, showing great leadership. I also want to thank all the law enforcement that was out there securing our schools. I had a chance to go by 2 of our shelters and, seeing all that staff and faculty. And I have to tell you, at Steinbrenner High School, I ended up spending so much time out there because the lunchroom energy was amazing. The lunchroom ladies were so positive. You didn't realize they left their families because they were there to feed people. A lot of people left their children, their husbands, their wives to serve in that capacity. So I just want to thank everyone, all our administrators. I mean, everybody was so positive, so caring, and Steinbrenner ended up being an animal shelter as well, which is really important because people don't want to leave their animals, to be able to protect people and make sure that their animals are also taken care of. We serve such a big capacity in this community, and I want to thank everybody. Thank you so much. Okay. We will now move to hearing the following items. C501, C705, C1101. 501, graduation dates for 2023-2024 school year. Superintendent Ayers will highlight this item.
Thank you, Chair Combs. The agenda item 501 is our graduation dates for this particular school year. Graduations will run from May 14th through the 29th, and graduations at the fairgrounds will begin on May 21st. After approval this evening, the graduation schedule will be available on the district website, and schools may begin notifying students, parents, and staff.
I need a motion and a second to approve item C501. I have a motion by Member Washington. I have a second by Member Vaughn, Member Gray, Member Vaughn, and I pulled this. Okay, we'll start with Member Gray. Or, I don't know, whoever.
Thank you, Madam Chair. No, my reason for pulling is simply to thank the the fairgrounds, the board, Cheryl Flood, and most meaningful is Jennifer Sperano for organizing and working tirelessly. And that was my motive to pull this item. Looking forward, of course, to the graduations, but we got a ways to go. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Member Gray. Member Vaughn?
Thank you. Yeah, I just pulled it as an information item. I know a lot of people are very anxious to know when their specific graduation is going to be because families make plans and so many people celebrate that. So I just wanted, if anyone's watching our board meeting, to let them know that we're releasing this so they can go online and find it and make their plans accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Vaughn. And I pulled it for a similar reason, and I had some questions about it, and it was clarified just asking about the rotation of graduations, because once again, this year there is a holiday break, and then there are some graduations like that. So just to know that it's really not the district's fault, it's just making sure that we have that space and that availability at the Florida State grounds. So that's why I pulled it. Thank you. Board members, please vote when your lights appear. And it passes unanimously. 705, approve guaranteed maximum price GMP for the curb appeal remodeling project at multiple sites. Project number, Superintendent Ayers will highlight this item.
Thank you, Chair Combs. This project scope provides for installation of metal fencing, bahia grass, artificial turf, safety window tint and murals, irrigation replacement and repairs, exterior painting, total landscape design, landscape packages replacement of school lighted marquee, signage removal, and at these sites, Bing Elementary, Brandon, Buchanan, Burns, Dickinson, Egypt Lake, Farrell, Gibsonton, Mango, Thanodisassa, and Young. Agreements for the required goods and services have been successfully implemented during previous years. Upon approval, the awarded vendors are to supply the required goods and services per the terms and conditions listed in the competitive solicitation.
Thank you, Superintendent Ayers. I need a motion and a second to approve item C705. I have a motion by Member Washington. I have a second by Member Vaughn. Member Vaughn, you pulled this item. Do you have any questions or comments?
No, I'm excited, first of all, very excited about Buchanan and Thanodisassa Elementary. But I just wanted to confirm what we had spoken about in the meeting publicly, that we do anticipate that this is the first round of schools, but every year hopefully, we're going to be able to pick more schools and be able to beautify that. I just don't want anyone to look at this list and say, how come they're getting some stuff done and we aren't? So I just wanted to make sure that we're being transparent about the fact that we're hoping to do this every year and what that looks like.
And we did. We've actually put it in the budget for the next this next budget cycle. So every year we'll have that same item. And some of these aren't done. If you see the lists on here, we've started this process, but they're definitely not done with our whole makeover for the front of those schools. We've had a lot of positive feedback from both board members, principals, staffs at that school, and that's an important part of it, is making sure you have pride in your school. So long answer to a short question. Yes, we will definitely have this going forward, and we look forward to the input from board members as we do that. You guys are out at your schools just like our staff is, and we value your input because you hear from the parents and your constituents. So it's important you tell us what those look like as well. So yes, we will do that.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Member Vaughn. Member Perez?
Yeah, I have a question on Article 4. There's no signature by us on this contract. The contractor signature is here, but not our signature.
We require them to sign first, then once we approve with the board, then we'll sign it.
Okay. Do we get a copy of the signed contract once? Where would we find that?
We do, and you'll actually find it. We do closeout documents, so this is the GMP for it, and then there'll be an acceptance item, and we've actually got acceptance items every time, which will be how much the actual cost is, because this is a guaranteed maximum price, but you'll actually get the itemized list of what we paid for and the cost that comes out of it with the signed contract on both sides. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Member Perez. Member Rendon?
I just really want to thank the superintendent and operations for really taking the time out to listen to principals, listen to board members, and listen to our constituents on exactly, our students. We want our students to take pride in our school. We need to take pride in our schools. And so I'm very thankful that we're making this initiative to show the students that we value the facilities that they're learning in, and that we want to make sure we put every effort into making sure that their facilities that they are in the best possible shape. And so I know it's already making a difference in a lot of the schools. Some of the murals are absolutely beautiful, the outward appearance, but the students are walking with their heads held high. And so I'm really thankful for everything that you guys have done. The timing, they worked diligently over the summer. Like you said, some things are just not done, but it wasn't for a lack of attempt. You guys were out there. There were people I saw on Saturdays working on parking lots and repairs and things like that. So I know this was a huge lift for all over the county, and thank you all so much for everything you've done.
Thank you, Member Rendon. Please vote when your lights appear. And it passes unanimously. 1101, naming the gymnasium at Memorial Middle School. Superintendent Ayers will highlight this item.
Thank you, Chair Combs. And this is our last agenda item before our public hearing. And this 1101 is the naming of the gymnasium at Memorial Middle School. And without further ado, I'd like to call up April Gilliard, the principal of Memorial.
Good evening to Superintendent Ayers and the school board. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to tell you about a wonderful educator that has given her entire career to public school education, Miss Aisha Bailey, better known as Coach Bailey. She is a product of Hillsborough County Public Schools, graduating from Robinson High School. She went on to play college basketball and majored in physical education. She came back to the district that gave so much to her so she could pay it forward. I'm trying to make her cry. She spent 23 years at Memorial Middle School. In that time, she has impacted over 4,600 students and their families. So why Coach Bailey and why now? Her impact goes beyond the walls of Memorial. Before I became the principal at Memorial, I knew she hosted all of the middle school championships. She was Mrs. PE for the district, but it wasn't until I was in the building that she did so much more than that. She actually brings people together. She actually makes sure that all of the sports and all of the people will come and make sure that she is doing everything she can for the district. They call on her all the time from the district PE office to help out. And so I really thought it was because Memorial was centrally located. and we have a big gym, but it wasn't that. So she has done so much for the athletics here in Hillsborough County and the Memorial community that I felt that she needed to be recognized. And finally, why now? Because a lot of times this is given to people that retire or, you know, the other thing. But, and I say this because my mom passed away 5 years ago, and she always used to say, give me my flowers while I am living, because tomorrow's not promised. Coach Bailey, here are your flowers. Congratulations. You deserve it. You want to say something? She said I have to say no. Okay.
Coach Bailey.
Well, you'll have to sit because you're not done. We have some things we want to say to you.
I'm not going to let you get away that easy.
No. Okay, I need a motion and a second to approve item C1101. I have a motion by member Vaughn. I have a second by member Gray. And I know member Gray and member Vaughn pulled this item. And we'll start with member Washington, I think. He was going to say something. Is that okay?
We go back a long ways. She was a great player in high school, a phenomenal basketball player. And not because she was a great player, because she's a great person. My daughter was very impressed. You were quite a person to be. My daughter was not a good basketball player, but she developed to have a great jump shot because of you. And she admired you all the way. I know the husband. I coached your husband at King High School. And I've always said about you, you always have given back to students. Always. During the time the summer programs was going on, Aisha was in that gym. Coach was in the gym. During the fall, volleyball, basketball, if you can name the sport, she always participated and helped the students during the time. And you know what? I am elated that you're honored to have that gym. Because if anybody in America deserves it, it's you. Because of all the things you have done for the students in Hillsborough County. And I love you for all the things that you do, but I love you as a person. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Washington. Member Gray?
You know, Aisha, I have remembered you because every time I've come to Memorial, you've always been the face, a positive face, energetic face. And I know you've kept Miss Gilliard hopefully in healthy shape because that also needs to be tackled. But, you know, my experience with what Miss Gilliard said, Principal Gilliard, is best that we give the honor to you when you are alive and well and can be motivated and inspired by not only yourself but the children that you've made a difference to, and you're going to have those experiences for years to come. And that, to me, is one of the biggest gifts that we could give you who have served our children and our community so well and so endearing. So congratulations, and we're going to have some more remarks. So hang in there, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Member Gray. Member Vaughn?
Hi. Well, first of all, when I heard your background, I looked over and I knew Member Washington had to know you. I knew that was coming. I knew there had to be a connection. But honestly, and almost the 3 years that I've stood up here, I haven't heard such a beautiful tribute. I think it moved almost all of us to tears, and that says a lot about you. So first of all, thank you for everything you've done for your students and our schools and education and community. And I really hope that every time you get to see your name on that gymnasium, that you realize what an impact you had, and how much your peers and your students and your community appreciates you, and how valued you are, and that you really feel appreciated. And there's nothing more important than investing in our kids. So thank you for everything you did, and congratulations. And everything you do, not did.
Thank you, Member Vaughn. I also wanted to say, Principal Gilliard and you two together are just such a force together. There's no question you've been working so hard for so many years, and there's no question at the end of the day when you pay it forward, you're probably seeing your kids that you taught now, their children are coming through. There's no question. And really changing the community, and I'm so honored to be here, and I can't wait to go out to the gym and see your name on it. And I have to say, I don't know what you do, but you do not look like you've been teaching 23 years. So, or however many years, 25? Okay, well, I don't know, but I just want to say that's amazing. I was thinking that you were like this young co-teacher came up, so that's amazing. So thank you for all that you do, and I look forward to going out there and seeing that. Member Perez?
So I'm gonna tell on you for a minute. So you helped coach my daughter, Carmen Perez, at Blake. Yes. Yes. And it's coaches like you and April who shape the life of children. And I'm going to say, I've always said this. You're like second parents to our children. Our children look up to you. You shape their world, and I truly, honestly believe this, and I always say this. And, staff has always heard me say it. The superintendent was also part of that, who I believe my children are who they are today because of the teachers and the coaches that were in their lives. And, my daughter's excited for you. And she told me to tell you congratulations. And she feels that you deserve this, and and thank you. Thank you for being that person in my daughter's life, who she could, who put her where she is today. I thank you. And congratulations.
Thank you. Board members, please vote when your lights appear. And it passes unanimously. Congratulations.
And let me not forget too, also, her principal was a great high school basketball player herself. Yeah, I know y'all talk basketball all the time. All right, that's right.
Thank you. We will now move to our final public hearing on the millage rates and budget for the 2023-2024 fiscal year. The budget includes all government and proprietary funds of the district and the tax rate. We will now close the regular school board meeting and open the final public hearing for the millage rates and budget for the fiscal year 2023-2024.
Board Chair, it is recommended that the board adopt the state-required local effort millage rate of 3.1520. It is also recommended the board adopt discretionary operation millage rate of 0.7480 mils. It is recommended the board adopt the local capital improvement rate mill of 1.5000 mils. And it's recommended the board adopt a debt service millage rate of 0.000 mils.
I need a motion and a second to adopt the fiscal year 2023-2024 millage rates as presented. I have a motion by Member Washington. I have a second by Member Vaughn. Is there anyone present who wishes to address the board concerning the proposed millage rates or rollback rate? I think we have one speaker.
Marclutho Largo. Well, you're having your hearing on the millage rate as it's prescribed by law. And you didn't say anything about it being an increase. This is not how you're really supposed to be having this hearing. Not at all. As I said, you need to be watching the Pinellas School Board meeting. There you'll see how the hearing on the budget is supposed to be held. And this school board used to run these hearings correctly. You know, I've been coming here for a long, long time before you were ever the attorney here. And it used to be that they were held according to law. This increase is a result of malfeasance. No other way to see it. I heard earlier that woe is we need money for mental health. Yeah, well, you squander money, you can't take care of those dearest of needs. Now let's see you take care of the budget.
Thank you. School board members, do you have any questions or comments? Member Gray?
Madam Chair, I need clarification. May I ask a question regarding the 602, the budget amendments, or are we just only for the hearing?
This is only for the millage.
Okay.
So if you have questions about the adopted millage rate, Ms. Johnson will be able to answer those, but that's the only thing in front of the board right now.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. No.
Thank you, Member Gray. Please vote when your lights appear. And it passes unanimously. We will now move to the second part.
It is recommended that the board adopt the budget of $4,430,411,685.28.
I need a motion and a second to approve the adopted agenda. I have a motion by Member Washington. I have a second. I need a second. Does anyone? Okay, I have a second by Member Gray. Is there anyone present who wishes to address the board concerning the adopted agenda? Adopted budget, I'm sorry. Thank you, Mr. Porter. Okay. I think we have one person here.
Mark Lutho Largo. Again, you need to watch the Pinellas County School Board meeting and watch how you are supposed to do this budget hearing and make a presentation as prescribed by law. I just don't believe it. Yeah. It is a doggone shame. You know, I just heard about how wonderful the facilities are. Here's a headline: study details the climate change down below. Structures leak heat into the ground, putting buildings at risk. Now, this is just another example of how your stupid buildings are a waste. All of the money that you were squandering that is causing a headline like this: soon our oceans could feel like jacuzzis. This is what your budget is bringing. This is only 2023. Only 2023. What do you think these little children are going to see in 2053? This is what you're going to be responsible for bringing into their future. This budget is an obscenity, ignoring science. Over 30 years now, I've been bringing science.
Thank you. Thank you. School board members, do you have any questions or comments? Please vote when your lights appear.
You had questions about 602 that's been approved by the on the consent agenda. That's separate from the budget. This is about the budget itself. So if you have questions, you could do them at the board member comments. This is not, it's not related to the budget is separate from that. This is a hearing on the budget. Item 602 was approved on the consent agenda. Those are budget amendments. So it's you can ask those, I think, after this or during your board member comments, but not as part of the, it's not related to what's on the floor for the motion.
But I can't remark on this budget.
Yes, you can remark on this budget. Yes, yeah.
I do want to say something.
Yes.
Ask a question. My apologies, Madam Chair. Can I?
Okay.
Ask a
Okay.
question?
Okay, we'll have to clear the board, or will we just, let's go ahead and vote on this? Okay, Mr. Porter, if you could just clarify.
This is the public hearing on the budget. Ms. Gray indicated she wanted to ask questions about the budget amendments found in item 602 on the consent agenda. That's already been approved. That's not an appropriate topic for discussion for this motion. She has a question about the overall budget, or a comment about that. That's appropriate for now, but the budget, you already approved the budget amendments in the consent agenda.
Okay, Member Gray, do you have questions about what we're working on now or the consent agenda? I just want to clarify.
I appreciate that. Not the consent agenda, what we just covered right now.
Okay, if we could clear the board, and then if there's
we're adopting.
any comments, I think it's Member Gray. Go ahead.
Thank you for the patience, board members. I wanted to ask a question about the 14-day count as it regards to whether we are making the projection of 880 students. Did we make that, are we on track to make that projection as it is embedded in the budget?
No, based on our projections, we're down. Hillsborough School is down altogether by 1,500 students, but charter school is up by 2,000.
Okay, the question also, when we talk about the homeschool, I got the figure in that we have 10,498 students that are now enrolled as of September 7th in homeschool. Will that affect our budget? That's to the tune of 115 million.
Well, if those kids do not choose Hillsborough as the school of choice, then we won't be able to get allocation for ours, the FEFP from the state for those students who are homeschooled.
Okay, well, my question directly is regarding the loss of FTE, and it will just be simply for the unweighted, not the weighted. I also have a question on the estimated voucher from HB1. We have a figure of 36,000, which is equivocated to 309 million. Will we have that affect our budget projection?
Any student who does not attend Hillsborough schools, it impacts our budget in a negative way because we don't get resource for those students who do not attend the district.
When we say negative way, 309 million, or let's just say 300 million, is quite a lot of money that we will lose. And I think that if we also add private schools, the projected amount that we will lose is 12,830. So let's just say 12,000. That equivocates to $109 million. If we add all of the millions of dollars that we may lose, I definitely think we need to make a remark about the seriousness that this presents this district, this budget, as we move forward to 2023-24. It does affect. Is every board member aware of the amount of money that is possibly will be lost on the FTE?
I'm quite sure they're aware that if a student doesn't attend, we only get funding for students that attend. And our projection is based on 220, how many students? Hold on. 234,000 students attending Hillsborough County Public Schools.
Okay, now this is just the 14-day count here. So what I would like to see, and I know I've asked it before, I definitely would like to see quantitatively the amount of money lost from the FTE unweighted. I believe every board member should see that, those figures. And if it's a projection, so be it. But right now I have an actual figure from, and I can't remember the employee's name, I'm so sorry, but I have the exact amount as of September 7th. So these are real figures monetarily. We need to know as a board what we're dealing with in terms of the results of House Bill 1, private school, homeschool, and as it relates to the FTE loss. So with that remark and that request, I implore you to make sure that this is part of the articulation as we move forward with our next budget. And I know it's on the consent, but as we move forward on our next meeting. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Member Gray. And we have a couple other members who have questions. Member Rendon?
Mr. Porter, may I clarify, during this time of this public hearing, may we make comments on the budget or only questions?
Both.
Okay.
The budget public hearing. My only point was,
I understand.
the budget amendments were
Right.
from last year's budget.
Right. So we're commenting on the budget, the 23-24 school board, but a school, Hillsborough County school budget. So some of the things I want to comment on is, I don't believe we can clarify that we have a loss of income when we are going on a projection of student count. We cannot validate when a student goes to charter or is homeschooled or is private school. First of all, when they apply for a voucher as a homeschool or private school, they could already have been in private school and homeschool and never been part of the count. So at the end of the day, we are creating a budget based upon the enrollment we believe that Hillsborough County schools will have. Now, estimating a loss, it's not a loss, it's a number of count. We can say that our numbers of enrollment are down by 1,400 at the 10-day count. But that doesn't mean we can solidify or know that any of those 1,400 left. We only know what students have enrolled. There's a difference between if we know someone walked away. When someone leaves the district, we don't have a record if they moved out of state, if they went to another county. So at this point, I want to clarify with Ms. Johnson that we are basing a budget based upon enrollment numbers, not anticipating when someone goes away, comes back, leaves, goes, because we also could make the clarification that last year we had over 12,000 individuals come into our district. So we cannot predict, did those children come from private school? Did they come from homeschool? Did they come from Venezuela? Did they come from Honduras? As we know, over 6,000 came from Cuba, Venezuela, and Honduras last year. So at this point, we are only making a projection. Am I clarifying? Can you clarify? We are making a projection of enrollment in our schools.
That's correct. We are projecting, we can find it based on the projection that was given by the state, and based on true count day, we'll true up those numbers. So we have to wait for count to come in for the student on count day, and then we'll know exactly where our accounts stand and how much we're going to get funded.
Based upon previous years, including last year, the count we started with at the 10-day count to the count at the end of the year, was it up higher at the end of the year than it was in the beginning of the year?
Well, we lost students. It was higher. It was up higher than it was this year. If you look at we usually
from August to May, did we increase students over the course?
It was more stable. We had a more stable count from last year. We were up higher than the previous year, but this year we're kind of down. We're swinging down, but you never know, because after Labor Day, a lot of students come in after Labor Day also. So we just try to wait for that count day and just monitor the enrollment of the students.
The reason I'm asking the question is if are we making a projection based on history and good numbers? Is this, or are we just throwing a number out there? We're basing it on what we've seen after a 10-day count.
We don't make the projections. The projections happen in February. We build the budget based on projections that the state, based on the models of students that we project that's going to move in an area and other criteria that the state does. And we pick the best model that suits Hillsborough County schools. And we took the lower count model for Hillsborough's, and it's a little bit higher, 7,500 students, but based on the actual day count, we're kind of lower than last year to reach the 7,500, but we don't know, because students, we could have a flood of students after Labor Day that come in, because people start school after Labor Day. Some, people, especially people from the North, this is kind of a new thing to start before Labor Day in the South. But in the North, most people still are on vacation. They start coming in after Labor Day. So hopefully our counts will start plateauing up.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Member Rendon. Member Vaughn?
Yes, thank you. So when we were preparing for this and going over it in our one-on-ones, you shared a PowerPoint that I thought you were going to share at this point with all of us so that Member Gray could see that we are getting this information and asking these questions. What happened to that PowerPoint?
We didn't present the PowerPoint tonight. We just I was told we was just going to go straight to the public hearing at 5:01.
Okay. Well, I will say, speaking for myself, that we had a long one-on-one about it and talked about a lot of these issues and got clarification and talked about which monies we expect to not be included in our budget, which extra revenues we're going to have and, extra expenditures we're going to have, and got a fair idea that, of course, everything is flexible and that could change. Of course, we're talking about it right now based on an enrollment, but a fair picture of what we anticipate if things stay on track where they are. So
Correct.
I have had that conversation. I'm assuming all the other board members too. I would like to have that PowerPoint for transparency for the public. So as we have that conversation, they can follow along and see some numbers and know what we're talking about instead of just this kind of obscure conversation we're having they might not understand without seeing that. So next time I would ask for the PowerPoint just to be presented so people can have an idea of what that looks like for transparency. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Vaughn. Member Gray?
And I apologize, Ms. Romanier, for giving you these questions. This is my 8th year with budgets, and I know the projection. If we own a business and we are not projecting our profit and loss, then I would say that would be a very unfortunate situation for a business owner. This is a business, and you have to make projections. And to Member Rendon's point, the actual date of September 7th is the real date that this was recorded. We are losing 10,498 students to homeschool. Now, whether we want to call it projection or not, if we are not, and I'll just say, board members, this will just be for my individual edification. If you're all getting information in a different format, that's none of my business. But I will say, as a school district, we need to be mighty sure, mighty cognizant. The loss that we have, this is just a 14-day count, that it is monitored and it is projected because this affects our future spending. It affects perhaps whether we go out for a millage or a referendum, whatever you want to call it. It affects the quality of our employees, employers, their confidence level. We have got to be real. We can't go ahead and say, oh, I got this version from you, and then another board member says, I got this version from you. I know exactly what we have and what we don't have. And I'm not going to go ahead and mince words, because if we don't go ahead and be real and transparent during a board meeting, then I don't know what else I can do other than just give this information out as I receive it. So, mind you, I'm taking this seriously, as everyone else should, in my opinion, and I hope that there will be more transparency of the actuals as we move forward during the next, the 601 budget revelations. You don't have to look at others for their satisfaction or not. This is supposed to be very, very critical talk right now, and it's public. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Gray.
Yeah, thank you, Chair Collins. Before we move back to the hearing, I just want to make a statement that our current staffing models are built upon our current student enrollment. We can move back with the hearing.
And I also wanted to say what I am hearing, that the board does want to have a presentation.
If you have that available, you can.
I mean, I don't know. I know you were prepared, and then we were going to go straight to the budget. I don't want to put you on that spot, but I think that maybe our next meeting we need to.
If the PowerPoint is ready, it should be shown now.
Okay, what we can do is we could take a small break right now, if you'd like to do that, or how would you feel about that? Okay, do we need to take a break, or can we?
Take a recess.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a 10-minute recess, because we are early. This is, we don't have a lot left for the agenda. Let's go ahead and take a 10-minute recess. I think it's really important that we go ahead and go through that presentation. Thank you so much. Okay. Board members? Okay. We will go ahead and resume our meeting now. I just wanted to clarify a couple things, that each board member did go over one-on-one with our CFO, Ro Johnson, and we all went over, I think some people even spent more than an hour going over the budget. And those copies and that budget information is all available online, is it public information. And if anybody wants to know where to access that, please let us know. But we are very transparent with the budget. What it was is that we did not present it because it was presented one-on-one, and we are hearing from the board members that they want that presented. So at this time, we will go ahead and do that, but I just wanted to clarify all of that. Thank you. Ms. Johnson?
Okay, we're going to start with the ending fund balance for fiscal year 22 and 23. That's closing out June 30th, 2023. We had a total revenue of $1,685,000,000 around, and a total expenditures around $1,657,000,000. So our financial position was a surplus for that fiscal year we just closed of $27.3 million overall. Our beginning fund balance from the previous year was $186 million. Our ESSER movement was moving one-time resources to the grant ESSER funds was $129 million. The non-recurring salaries was $12.5 million that we paid out of our fund balance, and also the reoccurring cost is already embedded in our total expenditures. With our surplus as 27.3, we had an ending fund balance of $330 million, which is 20%. The restricted portion is 4%, which is around $70 million. Our unrestricted percentage is 16%, which is $253.6 million. So the truth in millage is a law that was enacted in 1980. It required the Florida statute under Section 200. The statute requires school districts to advertise the proposed millage rates in the budget annually. The proposed millage rates that is built in this budget is required local average of 3.1520, discretionary millage of 0.7480, and our capital outlay millage of 1.5000. This budget was built on assumptions. When we build a budget, assumptions, because there's a lot of projections in the budget is fluid and is subject to change, and it will change. As you can see, our general assumption is our base student allocation went up from 4,587 to 5,139, a 552 increase per student. But what's embedded in this increase are those restricted categorical findings that we have flexibility. So that's over $119.3 million worth of flexibilities in those finding source, but we still have expenditures attached to these resources. So if we don't spend them all, we have flexibility to put them in our unrestricted general fund. The revenue assumption for Hillsborough County Schools is state source is our FEFP based on our student enrollment count, state categorical allocation, and other miscellaneous revenues from the state. Our local source is based on our property tax that we based on the capital mill, and investment incomes and other miscellaneous revenue from local. Our federal source is federal impact aid, ROTC, and Medicaid, and other federal resources. Our expenditure assumption in this budget, we build this budget, we always have some increases in our expenditures. Our increase in our FRS rate, which is our retirement rate, went up by 1.66%, which equates to $5 million for this fiscal year. And our health care costs went up by 2.8%, where it equates to $4.3 million. Our yearly utility costs, we estimate increased by $4.6 million for this budget year. What are you seeing is a snapshot of the general fund only. We're focused on the ending fund balance for last year, which is $330 million. We're opening up this year. That's our beginning fund balance. We're projecting that the fund balance is going to end at $336 million. So that's a $6 million surplus. If everything stayed the same, we will have a surplus of $336 million. But we know the budget is fluid and that will change. This is, it's hard to see, but this is our overall budget for the whole fiscal year for all funds. Our general fund, our total revenue allocated for that is $2.3 billion. Our special revenue account is $665.3 million. Debt service, we're going to spend around $226.3 million. Capital projects, that fund is $932.9 million. Internal service is $212.2 million, giving us a total allocated budget for this fiscal year of $4.4 billion. So this to put it in the format of the journal, our total a budget for the general fund, our total revenue is estimated to be $1.7 billion. Our total expenditure is going to be $741 million. Would give us a financial position of a surplus of $6.1 million. Our beginning fund balance, which we stated, was from $330 million, plus our surplus of 6.1, projected surplus of 6.1. We will end this next fiscal year at $336.2 million, which is a 19% ending fund balance. And that is the end of the presentation. So I can take questions at this time about the PowerPoint presentation.
Board members? Okay. We'll start with Member Vaughn.
There's a motion on the floor to approve the budget, too.
Thank you. I just wanted to point out that with those numbers that you highlighted at the bottom of our expected expenses that will rise due to retirement, healthcare costs, and utility, that in just 1 year, we're looking with those three items alone at a $15 million increase in expenditures in those areas. So I think that's important to talk about because I don't think we always just think about the standard things. I mean, we talk about inflation, but when, actually pointing out how much, healthcare, $5 million 1 year, utility costs, $4 million in 1 year, that's a gigantic jump. And a quarter of the step that we gave our employees last year. And I do appreciate you also pointing out how those new pieces that are unrestricted categoricals, if we don't spend those, we can put those back into the general fund. I know that we want to make sure they're allocated for the categoricals, but it is good news that instead of those being swept away, if we aren't able to spend those, they can go towards our general fund, and we have a little more flexibility in that. So I appreciate those two pieces having clarity when it comes to that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Member Vaughn. Board members, please vote when your lights appear. And it passes unanimously. The third part?
It is recommended that the board approve the resolutions adopting the millage rates in the adopted budget.
I need a motion and a second to approve the resolutions adopting the millage rates and the adopted budget as presented. I have a motion by Member Gray. I have a second by Member Washington. Is there anyone present who wishes to address the board concerning the millage rates and adopted budget? Okay. School board members, do you have any questions or comments? Please vote when your lights appear.
It is recommended that the board...
Just 1 second. And it passes unanimously. And now the final part.
It is recommended that the board authorize staff to perform all tasks necessary to ensure compliance with the truth and millage requirements of Chapter 200 Florida statutes.
I need a motion and a second to authorize staff to perform all tasks necessary to ensure compliance with the truth and millage trim requirements of Chapter 200 Florida statutes as presented. I have a motion by Member Washington. I have a second by Member Gray. Is there anyone present who wishes to address the board concerning the authorization of staff to perform all tasks necessary to ensure the compliance with the truth and millage trim requirements of Chapter 200 Florida statutes? School board members, do you have any questions or comments? Please vote when your lights appear. And it passes unanimously. We will adjourn the public hearing on the adopted budget and reconvene the regular school board meeting. Okay, thank you, board members. What we'll do now is we will move to superintendent comments, and then we will then probably have employee input after that.
Thank
Superintendent
you.
Ayers?
Thank you, Chair Combs. Our superintendent's update this evening. First off, we kind of covered in our recognitions, but just again, what's a thank you to all of our staff for their help and supporting our community during Hurricane Idalia. I did want to make one note that with first semester minutes, with the 2 days missed, we are slightly under our required number of instructional minutes. So we are currently working with our Classroom Teachers Association right now to look at possibly one early release day. 1 day is all we need to meet those required number of minutes for first semester. So we're working with our Classroom Teachers Association. I'll have a decision next week on what day an early release day will turn into a full regular school day, and that'll meet our required minutes. Do want to note that any other days, knock on wood, any other days that we miss here will require us to tap into. We will, of course, we got October 16th, November 10th, are all the other days that are in our calendar that we could utilize as hurricane days if need be. But as of now, we just have for makeup, it's just that is one early release day, and we're currently working again with our Classroom Teachers Association. In our strategic plan, supportive organizational culture, I wanted to highlight Taylor Gillespie. Taylor's a junior at Bloomingdale High School, is helping raise awareness for pediatric cancer. This student is involved in an organization called Small But Mighty Heroes, which is dedicated to making a positive impact in the lives of young cancer patients and their families, and has also written a book in support of their mission. During the month of September, which is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, Taylor is spreading her passion to the Bloomingdale family. The school will be placing gold ribbons on its main doors to show solidarity for pediatric cancer patients. And on top of her passion for this cause, Taylor has recorded 823 community service hours. To the right there, Shaw Elementary. This is talk about supportive organizational culture at Shaw. Each month, staff members at Shaw nominate one another for notable awards. The awards recognize staff members who help others through a tough situation, go above and beyond, and make their students more successful academically, socially, and/or emotionally. This positivity is not only contagious, but feeds the staff culture. Left, students at Roland Park K-8 and York Innovation teamed up to raise money for Maui wildfire victims. Between the two schools, they raised over $13,000, and that money will go to the Hawaii State Teachers Association and will help those teachers and families affected by the fires. To the right here in our Rosac Gallery, postcards from the past. Students were tasked with researching, creating visually appearing postcards that effectively convey historical context and significance from a specific period in Tampa's past. Through grant funding, a hard copy will be shared with all of our 11th grade U.S. history teachers this upcoming school year. Once again, in academic excellence, our U.S. News and World Report Best High Schools. I did want to note that all of our high schools made the list. The only school we did not have that made the list was Sumner, and the only reason Sumner didn't make it is because you have to have a 4-year cohort in order to be as a requirement to make the list. But as you can see there, we had 5 of our high schools that were ranked in the top 100: Plant, Newsom, Steinbrenner, Robinson, and Sickles. But special shout out to those high schools for making the top 100, but also all of our high schools making the Best High Schools U.S. News Report. Congratulations to 2 of our students, Clark Elementary 5th grader Lillian Long and Liberty Middle 6th grader Mahi Patel, for being named winners in the 2023 Convention Americas competition. There are more than 170,000 participants worldwide, and 146 inventors were selected as finalists. Mahi Patel received first place in the overall K-5 division for a project analyzing lung cancer using AI. Lillian Long received second place in the overall K-5 division for her project, You Can Touch This, a slime made with dermatologist recommended ingredients for those with sensitive skin. Yeah, 5th grader and 6th grader with that. Exceptional talent. So 4 of our leaders, congratulations to the following principals being selected to the Kahn Fellowship 23-24 Distinguished Fellows cohort. Stacy Arena, Matt DePremer, Kimberly Yan, and Nashira Mitchell were selected to be on the Kahn Fellowship Distinguished Fellowship cohort. We're extremely proud of them and their educational journey as they're part of this fellowship over the next year. Supporting teachers in ESE, STEP, an HCPS Accelerated Special Education Teacher Preparation Program, supported by our HR and Professional Development Department. This was the first class, 11 individuals from Saturday, August 27th. So our STEP program to get more of our teachers into our ESE classrooms. Board members, I also wanted to give an update to our cybersecurity update. On Thursday, August 31st, we did realize there was a cybersecurity incident that impacted certain network resources. As a team, we took immediate containment measures and enlisted SentinelOne, a leading cybersecurity services provider, to assist with containment and our immediate response. Upon returning from hurricane cancellations, classes were able to continue without major disruptions. Then on Friday, September 1st, we engaged in additional resources to support our internal teams in restoring full operation to affected devices. With their assistance, we developed a comprehensive restoration plan with core system prioritized. Our teams worked tirelessly through the holiday weekend to get systems back up and running in a secure manner. So I do want to give a shout out to our IT department. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday during that holiday weekend, our IT team working alongside SentinelOne and Surefire to restore our services to mostly back to for Tuesday. By the time students return to classes on Tuesday, all of our core educational systems have been successfully restored, and though some support systems remain for restoration, we do expect a 90% restoration by end of day today, September 7th. In summarizing, we are investigating to understand how this incident occurred, as well as the full scope of the impact. Two things I do want our community to know is that our investigation is also ongoing to identify the nature and extent of any HCPS data that may have been subject to unauthorized access. Importantly, our preliminary findings indicate that our student information system, which securely houses the vast majority of all of our student educational data, was not impacted. We take the privacy and security of all data in our possession very seriously and are working diligently to understand more about this incident, and we will provide appropriate updates as this process continues. And last slide, finally, our annual employee benefits enrollment. That is September 19th through the 28th. You know, we're transitioning from Humana to Aetna, and I did want our staff members to know September 19th through 20th is our annual enrollments benefits enrollment period for this school year. And that is all of my updates, Chair Combs.
Thank you, board members. And we have no employees here today for employee input, so we will go ahead and move on to board comments. We'll start with Member Gray.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Superintendent Ayers, for mentioning the U.S. News Best Schools. And the clarification for our high schools, all of our high schools being recognized. I mean, that's a powerful statement. It's a powerful statement and compliment not only to our cabinet members, but our principals and most importantly, our teachers. So when we talk about Plant number 1, Newsom number 2, Steinbrenner number 3, Robinson number 5, Sickles number 6. I don't know, some couldn't get it, but would they be number 7 or?
Yeah, so I'm sure next year, so you had to have a 4-year cohort to be, but I'm sure Sumner next year, without a doubt, will be part of that list.
That is a powerful recognition to the hard work that our principals, again, and teachers are doing throughout the nation. Wow, very impressive. At this time, Pablo, you can go ahead and put on the slides. I'm trying to remember which one. Oh, here we go. Yeah, okay, so this is a big, huge thank you to Drucy Diaz. This is our Hillsborough County Public School staff, and powerfully put on with the Hispanic Coalition, the Student Online Safety Human Trafficking event. Monica Rodriguez, the head of the Hispanic Coalition, brought together her organization at Leary, and we had a tremendous turnout. And thank you, Member Combs, for attending, and Superintendent Van Ayers. And we did very, very powerful, and I say the word compelling, but these are experts, not me. Those are experts that have put together everything from testimonials about their experiences of being trafficked, FBI sharing the social media conduit that our students now are using to begin, almost in a small, subtle way, becoming groomed and desensitized in sexual orientations and more than that. And we have our Hillsborough County Sheriff Office participating, as always. We thank them. And again and again, Amy Marie Granger, the Hillsborough County PTA president, we want to make sure that all of our students, or parents especially, are aware of the cyberbullying and the social media connection that our wonderful students, my 2 grandchildren, many of your children, some of us here have grandchildren as well. The awareness is only going to become real through education, and that's what we are going to do. 7 events will be planned during this school year. Pablo, do I have one more? I don't know whether that was it, right? So I'm going to conclude my my remarks at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Gray. Member Washington.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Before we show the video, I would like to thank Ganesha with Tampa General because we have in our school the telehealth services, and they had a great meeting over at Foster at the beginning of the year, and I didn't mention it during that period of time. But telehealth is very important in the school district, and we have it at about 4 or 5 schools now. We are trying to expand it a little bit more, because now we can keep kids in school when they're sick. If they need a provider, they come. If they're sick, they come to the nurse's station, and we have a provider where they can have it on the computers, and they can talk to them, see what's going on. And if something is going on, they give them the information, and then they give it to the nurse, and the nurse calls the parents, and we can keep them in school. Because, a lot of kids, especially elementary kids, have a runny nose. It's always something with elementary kids, and we just want to keep them in school. I think that's so important. So I'd like to thank Kanisha over with Tampa General, and also the board, because we voted to have this put in. I want to thank the board because it's going to be productive. Can we move to Brandon High School now? We have a slide. Should be slide 1, maybe. Okay, that's not the one. That's Potter. It should be from slide 1 from 825. We should have it. But if not, let me talk a little bit. It doesn't make a difference. Let me talk a little bit. Okay, so we had a meeting over on 825 at Brandon High School to unveil the mural in the hall area as you come into the building, and it was for the community to come in, and it was real nice because Dr. Basiglio was the sponsor, and we had John Sierra who drew the mural on the wall to deal with reality. And what it showed at Brandon High School, it was an eager caring the community. And that was very impressive, because what we were showing is that the school carries the community. And the eagle was carrying the community, and it was very nice. It was really nice mural and very expensive. So I'd like to thank Dr. Derek Basiglio for sponsoring that. And then we had a chance to visit the Teachers Wellness Center and Community School Pantry, where they have a variety of clothing in there for students. And they come in, and if they want something, they can come in, sign in, and have one of each. It's very organized. They have some really good clothes in there too. And I was excited. The community school, it was real nice. It was really nice. And then we had the Brandon Mission Booster Mission, that spirit and morale is in the school. I'm gonna tell you, I'm very impressed with Dr. Klein. Jeremy does a great job. He does a great job, and he has those kids. They are on a plus roll at Brandon High School. They're very mannerable. They walk down the hallways. They speak, because he have this personality to deal with the students in a positive way, and he's bringing back the history of how Brandon used to be, and that's so important. And kids are accepting it, and they are so nice, and they speak, and if they have a problem, they come up to you. They don't disrupt you. I was impressed, and I like to thank Dr. Klein for doing a great job over at Brandon, and I know they will continue to do a good job. And that's all I have today, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Member Washington. Member Vaughn?
Thank you. I don't have much to say, just a few things I want to highlight. The best thing about being a school board member is really getting out in all of our community and seeing all the different organizations that really come together or work or not-for-profit or volunteers that are supporting our students, like the resources and all the different groups that we have in our community, and understanding how they all fit together to support our students in our schools is so amazing. Kind of in line with what you were talking about, Member Washington, there's Oasis, which I've talked about a few times. It services our students. It gives the social workers any clothes or any supplies students might need that have been gently used. They have a spot at Tampa Palms Elementary and some portables. Unfortunately, those portables are being condemned because they can't withhold. And so they are looking for a new spot to set up, whether we have a school that might be under-enrolled and has some classrooms, or if we have some portables to be able to replace those other portables if we have some that we can move around. They're an amazing organization. Tampa Palms Elementaries and Childs just came together, their PTAs, and did a drive and collected so much. And I've seen firsthand how they really help our students who need supplies. So that's an amazing group. I had the opportunity to go out to Meacham Farms, which I think other board members have, which if people don't know is an amazing organic farm downtown, and taste some of their peanuts and some of the other berries that they have on their farm, and really looking forward to partnering with them and seeing if there are things that we can do to get our students really engaged in urban farming, organic farming. I know a lot of schools have little gardens that they try to start that aren't sustainable over the summer, and they have a lot of ways to keep those gardens going over the summer and a wealth of knowledge. So I'm so glad we partner with them. I've been out to so many PTA groups. Thank you for all the PTAs that have invited me. It's been an amazing opportunity to engage with parents and teachers, and I've gotten a lot of feedback about some of the policies that we've talked about and concerns within our schools, and a real good opportunity to explain to parents what the school board does, because a lot of parents don't even understand what we do. And then finally, we have a new principal that I got to meet at Strawberry Crest, Principal Watson. He comes over from Durant. He's been at Steinbrenner as well. He's really great. I had a really good opportunity to talk to the IB program there about the difference between IB and Cambridge and how they see it, and they're very excited about our magnet fairs coming up in the next few months in October. So if there are parents who are looking for accelerated classrooms, going to those magnet fairs and really learning which pathway is best for your student, I think is going to be great. And that's really all I have on my list. But again, it's amazing to be able to go out there and see all these different organizations that you don't know that we work with, who support us. And I'm just so honored to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Vaughn. Member Perez?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So, first I want to talk about our district and how, I, as a board member, I get a lot of calls from parents and, asking us they don't want us to move mountains. They want us to help them help their students. And when I call, Superintendent, when I call you, to help these parents, it happens. You move those mountains for our families. I had a grandmother, a great grandmother, who is in charge of getting the great grandchildren to the bus stop, and you're a Farkas and was able to help get that bus, where the grandmother is blind, getting those children where she was not in a place of jeopardizing her well-being to get those students to the bus stop. Those things that we do for our families to ensure that the students get to school. And I just want to thank, our staff for the things that they do, for listening. I know that sometimes I'm on the phone Saturday morning at 7 o'clock, and that I'm on the phone at 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning or a Sunday, because I'm a board member that does that. But you answer and you help, and I want to thank you for that. So August 26th, I went to the Head Start Family Fair, reminding our parents to get their children into school as early as possible. Learning starts early. And, we need to help our kids, starting reading. It's important to get them reading early. And they're going to be having another one soon. It's on Ellicott. The Head Start Family Center is on Ellicott. But I'll announce when that next one is. I do, however, want to take a moment to address something. A situation that, some comments about Morgan Woods and the families there. We always fight for our families and our children. The situation in Morgan Woods concerning the county's Park and Recreation Division and the Florida Institute of Community Studies organization. Many of you might have seen or read the article in Wednesday's paper sharing the current situation concerning our stakeholders. While they could not reach an agreement, Hillsborough County Public School maintains a great appreciation and respect for both organizations. I was made aware of the situation concerning both parties and the potential impact it could have on our families and those students in town and country area. To ensure that services and support to our students and families are not disrupted, we engaged the Boys and Girls Club located at Morgan Woods Elementary to ensure the students who were impacted could transition to that program, because our students come first and their families come first, and we're going to ensure that they always have a safe space to go to, ensure that their after-school program is always in place. It's our duty to ensure that our children are always our first priority and that we will always aim to prepare them for life. So, yo quiero tomar un momentito para compartir con los comentarios sobre la situación actual en Morgan Woods con respecto a la División de Parques y Recreación del Condado. Muchos de ustedes pueden haber visitado o leído el artículo del periódico del miércoles, compartiendo la situación actual con respecto a las nuestras partes interesadas, mientras que no podían llegar a actuar. En las escuelas públicas del condado de Hillsborough, manteniendo un gran aprecio y respeto por ambas organizaciones. Me enteré de la situación con respecto a ambas partes y el impacto potencial que puede tener en nuestras familias de la área de esa ciudad. Los servicios de apoyo a nuestros estudiantes y sus familias no serán interrumpidas. Vamos a involucrar al club de niños y niñas primarias en Morgan Woods para garantizar que los estudiantes que fueron afectados puedan hacer la transición a este programa. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Member Press. And I just wanted to say a couple things. I know that the bus and transportation, with our shortage of buses, it's been a lot, and our bus drivers are working really, really hard. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Laura Hill, because every time I email her a concern, she is just so responsive, and I really wanted to thank her. One of the things is, going out to the schools is really kind of really keeps, lets us keep our pulse with what's going on. But I will say, I went out to Mendenhall last week, and our new principal, Guillermo, she did a new thing where there were 7 or 8 kids, all 5th graders, that we went into a circle, and they asked me so many questions and really talked about what their needs were. And they asked me a lot of personal questions and a lot of professional questions, and it was just a great way. So I really, really enjoyed that. I also wanted to thank the operations department, the sheriff's office, and Valerie Licata from the PTA, who worked so hard in that one area. I went out to the crossing guards to see the crossing guards in that one area in West Chase, right by the Eagles, which has so much traffic. To be able to keep those guards in place is extremely important, because it is very, very busy out there. So I wanted to thank everyone who came together to work on that and make sure that went well. And then finally, yesterday, we went out with the Hillsborough Public School Advocates to really celebrate the community schools. Thank you, Superintendent Ayers, for being there, and Beef O'Brady's, who provided lunch to so many members and so many leaders in our community schools. And we know how important that is. As I said the other day, schools have really changed. They really provide so much for families as far as trying to provide health, advocating for after-school programs, food, all sorts of things. And we're seeing that the community schools is really the way we need to continue doing that. And I really appreciate all the groups that work so hard on that. And then finally, if you'll show, this is our Hispanic heritage. I anticipate literally thousands of people. I even had a school outside District 1 who said, can we join and perform? So it's going to be a great event. It's going to be at AP Leto High School. And thank you, Mrs. McCoy, who's just opened up her arms and going to do that. It'll be Thursday, October 12th, 6 to 7:30. It could even be maybe a little bit later because we've got a lot of performances going. And this has been sent out to all of our schools, and we'll continue to get that. And I look forward to celebrating all of our students and all of our different cultures. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice meeting. This meeting is adjourned.